I am Dr. Vinita Bhadoria, Associate Professor of English in Government College, Behror. Welcome in the video on the play Tughlaq, written by Girish Karnad. The story leads the character of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, the emperor of 14th century. It explores the character of one of the most fascinating kings to occupy the throne in Delhi, namely Muhammad bin Tughlaq. He ruled for 26 years, a period of unparalleled cruelty and agonizing existence for his subject. Tughlaq is the second play written in Kannada by Girish Karnad in 1964. It was a great success on the stage. It was first produced in Kannada in 1965 and at the same time in Hindi by the National School of Drama. In 1970, there was an English translated production in Bombay which was a major success. It is not hard to account for the immediate response the play has received from Kannada as well as other audiences. One can enjoy the play on the stage without paying much attention to its rich and complex symbolism and the subtle weaving of its different motifs. The play has an interesting story, an intricate plot, a scope for spectacle, and uses dramatic conventions like the comic pair Ajiz and Azam, to which theatre audiences respond readily. Another reason for Tughlaq's appeal to Indian audience is that it is a play of 60s and reflects as no other play perhaps does the political mood of disillusionment which followed the Nehru era of idealism in the country. Karnad himself has commented, "What struck me absolutely about Tughlaq's history was that it was contemporary. The fact that here was the most idealistic, the most intelligent king ever to come on the throne of Delhi, and one of the greatest failures also. And within a span of 20 years, this tremendously capable man had gone to pieces. They seemed to be both due to his idealism as well as shortcomings within him, such as his impatience, his cruelty, his feelings that he had the only correct answer. And I felt in the early 60s, India had also came very far in the same direction. The 20 years period seemed to me very much a striking parallel. The play is more than a political allegory. It has an irreducible, puzzling quality which comes from the ambiguities of Tughlaq's character, the dominating figure in the play. All the other characters are dramatized aspects of his complex personality, yet they also exist in their own right. Kannada critics have made detailed analysis of the play, paying special attention to the symbolism of the game of chess, the theme of disguise, the ironic success of Ajiz, whose amazing story runs parallel to Tughlaq's, and the dualism of the man and the hero in Tughlaq, which is the source of the entire tragedy. Yet no critical examination of the play can easily exhaust in total meaning for the reader, because the play has finally an elusive and haunting quality which it gets from the character of Tughlaq, who has been realized in great psychological depth. But it would be unjust to say that the play is about an interesting character, for the play relates the character of Tughlaq to philosophical questions on the nature of man and the destiny of a whole kingdom which a dreamer like him controls. Although the theme of the play is from history, there are many such plays in Kannada. Kannad's treatment of the theme is not historical. Karnad, he has not treated the play in a historical manner. Take, for instance, the use of him makes of the leitmotif of the play, prayer, in the scene where the Muslim chieftains, along with Sheikh Samsuddin, a pacifist priest, conspire to murder Tughlaq while at prayer. The use of prayer for murder is reminiscent of what Tughlaq himself did to kill his father. That prayer which is most dear to Tughlaq is vitiated by him as well as his enemies, is symbolic of the fact that his life is corrupted at its very source. The whole episode is ironic. It involves Sahibuddin, an idealist who has put great trust in Tughlaq's rule and is himself ultimately betrayed the Ratan Singh who masterminds the of entire plan of murder for his own end. The intrigue here not only enhances the theatrical interest of the play but is a dramatized projection of Tughlaq's tortured, divided self. Thus, we can say the external action throughout enacts the inner drama of Tughlaq. Both Tughlaq and his enemies initially appear to be idealists, yet, in the pursuit of the idealists, they perpetrate its opposite. The whole play is structured on these opposites, the ideal and the real, the divine aspiration and the deft intrigue. Tughlaq is what he is in spite of his self knowledge and an intense desire for divine grace. He is aware of the irony of his life when Aziz, the only character in the play who has skillfully used all the schemes of Tughlaq for his own designs, kills Ghiyasuddin and comes in his guise as a holy messenger of peace to purify the land and revive the banned prayer. The irony is deeply tragic. In the end, Tughlaq and his kingdom are one in their chaos, and he knows it. So, we can say the whole play is structured on the contradictory ideas such as ideal and real, the divine aspiration, and the deft intrigue, and the play is consistent with rich and complex symbolism. The major characters of the play Tughlaq. First of all, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, who is the emperor. Tughlaq emerges as a headstrong and idealistic ruler. He is vulnerable and constantly admits his mistake and allows himself to be punished publicly. He moves his capital to Daulatabad because it is a city dominated by the Hindus. This move will further the cause of togetherness and communal unity. Tughlaq is often on the defensive when he is questioned of his crime. His uncompromising generosity and sense of social justice embraces all religion and treat them in an impartial fashion. Tughlaq might be perceived as an over-ambitious alien emperor who aims to rebuild new cities and empires, subjecting the culture of a people to colonial strain. Each scene represents the progressive degradation and dehumanization of Tughlaq, leading to his tragic downfall. Next character is his stepmother. The stepmother of Tughlaq constantly appears in the earlier scenes of the play. She is torn apart by the conflicting emotions. Her overriding concern for her son is contradiction with her awareness of the fact that he is guilty of parricide. She appears troubled and confides in Najib, the courtier and the politician. Ajam is the next character who pairs with Aziz. Aziz was a shrewd man who deceives Tughlaq with his disguise. He is very manipulative, witty, imaginative, sedative, and ruthless. He provides his ironic parallel. Like him from the very beginning, Aziz is clear about what he is to do in future. In fact, Aziz appears as a shadow or the other Muhammad. It is perhaps because of this parallelism between them that Muhammad pardons him even for his grave misdeeds. Ajam is the close friend of Aziz and his partner in the play. Both of them are vagabonds and live mostly by robbery and deception. Aziz is undeniably the more cunning of the two. Ajam's actions are staged on a smaller scale, and Aziz's actions have larger ramifications. They constantly comment upon and analyze the policies of the Sultan and provide a variety of perspectives on the political climate of the place. Next character is Wazir Muhammad Najib. He is an advisor and confidant of Tughlaq. He is a politician and a shrewd contriver, a Hindu who later embraced Islam. In most of the scenes, he is seen advising the Sultan on matters of political action and diplomacy. He is an advocate of ruthless political expansion and domination and presents a perfect contrast to Barani and the historian. In the words of Sultan, he wants pounds of flesh and blood. He doesn't have the patience to breathe life into these bones. He represents the more rational aspects of Tughlaq's self and is a constant companion in terms of royal political affairs. Another one is Sheikh Imamuddin, a critic of Tughlaq's foolish acts. He is a Maulvi and probably the harshest critic of Tughlaq. He openly proclaims Tughlaq to be un-Islamic and invites his hostility. He gives public lectures and condemns Tughlaq as guilty of parricide. He tries to influence the general public through his inflammatory speeches deriding the actions of Sultan. He is later murdered in a clearly crafted plot of Sultan. Sihabuddin, also a character of the same mind. Ainul Mulk, he is an old friend of Tughlaq who later turned into an enemy. Or some minor characters are there. Tughlaq is a 13th scene play written by Girish Karnad focusing on the 14th century Turco-Indian ruler Muhammad bin Tughlaq. It is both a historical play as well as commentary on the contemporary politics of the 1960s. In the play, the protagonist Tughlaq is portrayed as having great ideas and a great grand vision, but his reign was an abject failure. From the very first scene, we come to know about the complex personality of Tughlaq. He can be considered as a learned and an intelligent man. He has abilities to learn and curiosity to know, and he is master in playing chess. He has the knowledge of Quran more than any sheikh, and also a good reader who has read Greek, Farsi, and Arabic literature. The character of Sultan Tughlaq can be compared with Christopher Marlowe, Dr. Faustus, who has same hunger of knowledge and he had a tragic end. The same tragic end Tughlaq has also faced. He wanted to make a new India, and for him it was very difficult, but he is ready to explain what people don't understand. Girish Karnad is the foremost playwright of modern India. Karnad used symbols to represent universal thoughts and emotions. His use of various symbols in the plays such as chess, Aziz and Ajam, prayer, python, Daulatabad, rose and birds like vulture add greater emotional and associative significance. This is a brief account of characters of Tughlaq and analysis of Tughlaq. Thank you very much.